Welcome back to one of my favorite sports podcasts, Frizz and the Grizz, with your host Trudeau and my guy, Frizzy Frizz.
Hello and welcome back to Frizz and the Grizz. It's your boy Trudeau. Thank you for joining us live Monday, May 18th. You can catch us live on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook. Make sure to follow that Twitch handle at @dfrizzy_Frizz5 and get the whole show next day on podcast, Apple, Spotify, all those good places. Well, we're here. NBA Conference Finals. We're going to spend most of the show talking about the teams in the finals and kind of maybe some of the stories surrounding these teams and what it means for players and teams' legacy if they were to advance and win the NBA championship. Very excited. I don't know what the future of the show holds, and I mean that because I'm gone the next 2 weeks, so we'll see if D gets adventurous and does a show on his own. But let's make it a good one, D, since we're gonna take a little hiatus.
I don't mind that. And I actually kind of smirked because you're like, oh, we're here. And I took that as oh, yeah, we're not going to be here in the next couple of weeks. And like, oh, no, you meant the conference finals. I thought you were kind of segueing into that one. So that actually made me smile at first.
I low-key just did that all together as little breadcrumbs.
Yeah. Foreshadowing, I think, is what they say in screenwriting or playwrights, that stuff.
Yeah, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. Tired, but that's just Mondays. But weekend was actually pretty dope. For the first time since December, we didn't have dance on Saturday. So you would think because you remove something from your plate that you'd have free time. No, it doesn't work like that. It's just what you had previously is scheduled between 9 and 11 something. You just replace it with something else between 9 and 11. You don't just get that time. So as parents, you don't get free time. It just is gone until they're 18, 19 years old and they're in college. So it was just always busy. Sorry. We did go swimming over the weekend though. I don't know if you guys opened the pools up north yet, but we definitely went swimming. That was pretty cool.
That's good. My week was solid. My week was solid. I'm just happy to be back, man. I'm happy that we're here. NBA Conference Finals, my favorite time of the year. Are you happy with the 4 teams, by the way?
I am. If there's they got it right situation, then I guess we're looking at the 4 that got it right. We can go into the matchups, but I look at it and go, okay, there's still a prove me wrong situation up in one of the cities, but the others I can look at and go, yeah, they deserve to be here. There's 3 out of 4 of them at least.
Yeah, I mean, in the West, you got the 1-2 finishers for the season. And then in the East, you have the 2 teams that were the odds favorite. Now, they didn't finish 1-2 in the standings, but if you rewind back to September, the betting favorites
were those two.
So I think we got the 4 best teams that we could have hoped for in the finals, the conference finals. That is, it's exciting, man. I'm really looking forward to the Western Conference Finals personally.
Yeah, I mean, tough that we don't have to dive into too much of it of play by play because we're gonna wait till next week, obviously, for that or whenever we can. But De'Aaron Fox is out game 1. That's a game changer when it comes to how they're going to play, because that's the strength of San Antonio is usually their height and depth at that guard position. We'll say that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see a little more Dylan Harper though myself.
Yeah, I mean, Fox did what was it, game 6 against Minnesota? He dropped 24. So he's there offensively. It's just more of the defensive problems that you can cause, obviously, when you're a 6'4", 6'5" guard.
Well, let's jump into the storylines for these conference finals because I think we're excited to talk about them. Let's go team by team. Do you want to start East or West?
We can go East.
Okay. I want to start with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a couple factors at play. Number one, Donovan Mitchell finally did the thing.
He did.
He made it to a conference finals. He'd never done that in his career. His long all-star riddled career never got to the conference finals. Did the thing. James Harden, obviously, this is going to be a big James Harden moment. And he's been pretty bad in these playoffs. We're going to just be blunt about it. He's been James Harden. But no championships 2-time MVP, right? I think I got the number right on that one.
Mhm.
Yeah. Storylines like this is a huge James Harden legacy time because again, we could shit on him all we want for being poor in the playoffs and melting down and taking like 2 shots in a game. But all that goes away if the Cavaliers somehow find a way. I think maybe even advance if they advance to the finals with him playing good basketball, that really changes a little bit of right legacy for him. So I think those are 2 interesting facets to look at. And then also the third one for me is the idea that this Cavaliers team was so poor for many years. Like they couldn't get out of the first round. They changed their coach. They make some changes to bring in James Harden. They haven't been this good since LeBron James had left.
Yep.
And all these moves, like these aggressive moves by the Cavs to improve after bottoming out, leaving the first round, it can kind of all come to fruition now for the Cavaliers.
I would say that it's worked. And for those that'll say James Harden carried, no. So there's numbers lie sometimes. And I think we get caught up in games 2, 3, and 4 and say he helped them win these games when Donovan wasn't playing. Look, Donovan Mitchell is a volume scorer. He's going to get his 20 to 30 no matter what. It was never about efficiency with him. It's just he's going to be the volume scorer. So James, between games 2, 3, and 4, I think it was 23, 24, and 19. And you go, he had great 2 and 3. I'll give you that. Miss me with he had a great game 4. We had 19. He went 3 for 7, and he had a bunch of free throws. That's not a game-changing performance, right? And then games 6 and 7, where we say that's where James Harden crumbles when it's series clinching. That's when he struggles. And that's when he went, just looking at the numbers, 10 points. 9 points, 23 points. The 23 points that he had was off of, was that shooting total? 6 for 13. Like, that's the James Harden that you don't know what's going to happen with. So I understand that they got to the conference finals. They pushed all of the chips. They kept Mobley. They got rid of Garland. That was like which one should you get rid of? Which one should you keep? They kept Mobley, and he played phenomenal this series. Same with Jared Allen. I think the bigs outperformed. They outkicked their coverage with the way that they played this series against Duran, and Isaiah Stewart. They whooped their ass essentially. So you can look at it and go, yeah, he had his points. James Harden reverted in game 7 and game 6 to the James Harden that we knew was going to happen, and he can't afford that to happen against the Knicks. You cannot go into, I need you at your best. They scored 125 points in game 7. They won by 40. He was 2 for 10. That's not that's not going to get it done against the Knicks. That's not going to get it done in the finals if they get it there.
Yeah, I mean, the only bright spot is there's 1 turnover in game 7, which you'll take
compared
the 1 turnover.
To what did he have leading into that? 7, 4, 3, 2, and 6.
Yeah.
There was points in time where he had more turnovers than
Do you
buckets.
have the box score open?
For which one?
Game 7.
Game 7, he was.
I was going to ask
him or for the game for the team.
I was going to ask. I think Donovan Mitchell had 0 turnovers too, right? Like, did they combine for?
Yeah, one? He might have had one. Let me get the exact for you, but he had like 8 assists, no turnovers at one point. Let me get the exact for you. 8 assists, no turnovers. Yeah, so that's what he ended at.
He was awesome, man. Donovan's a great player. It's just the thing with Donovan and James Harden, and I don't know what's up with James Harden, but both of those guys are kind of like feast or famine. Like, even Donovan, as good as he is, he'll have a game where he gives you 35 points, 40 points. Then he'll have a dud the next game of 15. James Harden's the same way. Like, strangely enough, they're almost the perfect pairing in a sense, because if one is just not there, not showing up, the other one has the ability to scale up if it works. I mean, it could go dastardly the wrong way with both Donovan Mitchell and James Harden laying goose eggs. But yeah, I mean, for me, the biggest storyline, and I'm glad you mentioned Mobley as well, but I think the biggest storyline for the Cavs series in general is just legacy-wise, James Harden, right? Because he's gotten this far before, right? Has he? Or I'm trying to think. No.
Yes, they got to the Western Conference Finals against
Okay.
the Warriors. Yes.
Okay. And that's when he had the complete meltdown in
A
game 7.
meltdown and broke the record for most missed
Yeah.
threes in the game.
Okay. Yeah. So he's gotten here before, but we've seen the meltdowns. Like all is forgiven. If you win a championship, right? All is forgiven. All of your past sins are forgiven. You made terrible trades as a franchise. Doesn't fucking matter if you win a championship, right? You trade away all your draft picks for the next 10 years. Doesn't matter if you win a championship. So, like, for me, the biggest storyline is James Harden. If he can actually find a way with this Cavs team and Donovan Mitchell to succeed, all those laughable flameouts, they don't matter anymore because he's the NBA champion, James Harden. That's how he'll be known going forward.
It's the last thing that he needs to accomplish. It's that simple. And I don't think even with the championship, like we're going to launch him into a top 10 of all time, but it'll cement him as, all right, cool. You weren't just I had this argument with somebody else outside of the stream, obviously. You're not just another Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony is a Hall of Famer. He's going to be, he's probably considered a top 75. I don't remember what the full list was. He was? Okay. So he considered a top 75. And there's nothing wrong with that. But like James Harden won multiple MVPs. Carmelo didn't. How far did they both get into the playoffs? Western Conference Finals. Like, and they never touched the finals. So he's got a chance to separate himself from that, like, you know, there was like a big thing in like the 2010s ring culture because like LeBron had the stats, but he didn't have the rings. So then people were like, well, he's still the greatest because he's got all these stats. That's what James Harden is. He's in that conversation of you're one of the greatest to ever do it to not win. And that's not how you want to end your career with like a Karl Malone or a John Stockton or all these guys that are Hall of Famers that just never got a chance to win because somebody else kept them away from winning it.
And by the way, I'm glad you mentioned, I said earlier, I'm glad you mentioned Mobley because I've been dogging on him the whole playoffs for not showing up. And he did come up big the last half of that series to close out the Pistons. And
I'd say the whole series.
Yeah, he had a good series.
He dominated. I mean, game 6 and 7 were completely different. Like to
be fair, Duran's going to be a whole different animal than when you face Mitchell Robinson. And you know, Cat's not a great defender, but you have to play against Mitchell Robinson and Cat. You know, these two big guys banging you, banging with you down low. I had to rephrase myself on that one.
It's like when Charles Barkley got caught saying that.
Yeah, but like Duran's been a mess all playoffs. Isaiah Stewart hasn't been able to control his temper in Game 7 and cost him. And their best big was like B-ball Paul Reed in that series. So we'll see what happens with Mobley. But like, I don't want to like do the foreshadowing, but Mobley will have to be the X factor against the Knicks because if they want to find success, the Cavaliers, they're going to need Mobley to continue to level up even more so than he had in the previous series against the Pistons.
Something that will be a game changer for the Cavs if he can consistently do it. I don't know. I can go check his career splits for it, but it would be him hitting the outside three. He did that in games. I think it was games 5. Let me get the exact. Yeah, game 5 he was 2 for 3, and then in game 6 he was 2 for 5. It's not a shot that you expect from him, and again, you don't need him to shoot at volume. But when he hits a 3, you can see it like it changes the whole dynamic of the Cavs offense because now you have to bring your big out of the paint. And guess where James Harden's going to go? To the rack. Guess where Donovan Mitchell's going to go? To the rack. So like that is a huge advantage for them. If he is confidently getting ready to spot up and shoot that at the top of the key, that's going to help, I would say, change the direction of the way that you have to play defense against them when it comes to the Knicks.
I don't know. You'd have to verify me afterwards, but I think the AI overview said he was 69 on their NBA top 75 list. Carmelo, that is.
Okay, so just cracked the 75. Just cracked
it, yeah. Is there any more pressure on Donovan next series as far as if there is a failure in this round? Do we frown negatively upon Donovan Mitchell?
I think it will depend on the way they lose, if they lose. And I'm not framing it as like if they win, no, there's no pressure. So we have to answer the question as if they lost.
Yeah.
Essentially, I look at it as if this is like a game 6 and like he's averaging 25 to 30 a game for the whole series and they lose in 6, no. We're going to see first time out east, first time a 6'1" or below guard gets to the finals for the first time since AI. We're gonna see. I mean, they're both small.
How tall is
Donovan's like 6'1", 6'2", 6'1". He's very small. We're gonna see what I mean by you're gonna see a small ball guard out of the East go to the finals.
We will, yeah.
For quite some time as like the dominant player on the team. We'll say that. The East has been run by players like Joel Embiid. I mean, you got Brunson now. Jason Tatum, obviously. Yep.
Tyrese
Halliburton when he was with the Pacers. Yep. So like your Eastern Conference teams are usually your taller wings, taller guards. This is the first time with Brunson and Donovan that you'll see someone advance to the finals. So I think if they go out in 6 and he's been playing the way he's played, no pressure. It'll just be part of this is why you need somebody else. Not that it's his fault. And if he goes out in 4 and he shits the bed in 4, then yes, they'll be like, hey man, like you're not that guy. But I think he proved in this series, especially the way that they closed out Game 7, he is that guy. He's that damn good.
I would expect him to have a pretty good series, Donovan Mitchell, that is, because if we think about just the Hawks playing the Knicks, the small guard, or the bigger, the guards had an advantage. CJ McCollum against Jalen Brunson. I'm trying to think. They played the 76ers round 2. Tyrese was fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't Tyrese's fault. Like I think guards will have a good advantage offensively against Jalen Brunson and the Knicks. It's really going to come down to probably the bigs. Mobley, and then Mobley stepping up and continuing to show progress, and what James Harden are we going to get? Which we've been alluding to the Knicks. So storyline for the Knicks: this is a team that hasn't won an NBA championship since 1973. Doing the math in my head, that's what 50.
It's right around 50 years.
53, yeah, over 50 years. We know the New York fan base is loud and proud. Knicks fans, that is. There's a lot of them. They're annoying. We all know at least one of our life. And for the Knicks, right, the storyline is this is your best chance you might get for a long time. You made all the moves, right? You saw the East opened up, right? You didn't make the move specifically this year, but you had made the moves in the previous years to bring in Cat, to bring in Bridges. You traded a lot of stuff away. If the Knicks don't make it to the finals, I don't even know what you say, because you fired the coach for getting this far last year.
Mm-hmm.
The owner came out in the offseason and said finals or bust, basically. There is a ton of pressure on the Knicks to win the series. I will say this, I do believe a little bit in the rest versus rust thing, where I know the Knicks will benefit from getting some additional rest, like OG Anunoby was banged up.
Yep, he's back.
But they haven't played basketball in near a week and a half, and they haven't played a meaningful basketball game because the game 4 is over in the first. Game 4 against the Sixers was over in the first quarter. They haven't played a meaningful tight basketball game in weeks. They need to be on high alert because again, the Knicks storyline is it's been a long drought. This is your best chance. You should have to do this right now.
I am with you. I'm also going to say I don't care. They have the most pressure. They have the most pressure in anybody in this playoffs right now, because they did obviously the offseason moves that you were talking about. Obviously, it's been 50 something years, so on and so forth. But this is the best shot that they are going to have at winning a championship this season right now.
To the finals, we'll say.
Yes. Sorry, make it to the finals. Yes, this is going to be the best shot because guess who's coming back next year? Boston. Guess who's coming back next year? Indiana. Yep. Guess who's most likely going to revamp their team because of what just happened? 76ers. Like these teams, your window shuts like this, right? So you can't keep getting this close and coming up short. The Pistons, they're going to make a move that's going to make them get right back into the thick of things. And because they've dominated the last 7 games, the last 3 against the Hawks, and then swept the 76ers, because they're on this like big momentum, they are the odds-on favorite. All of the pressure is on New York. They cannot have they can't fall on their face on this one. The Cavs are playing with house money. They've proven that this 2-guard thing can work. getting to the conference finals. Now, next year is obviously different, but I don't think their expectations are the same as of next year. The Knicks have been knocking on the door, and this is supposed to be their season. So yeah, I will say that if they don't get this done, getting to the finals, all hell is going to break loose in New York, unfortunately. When it comes to staffing, player management, roster management, all of that is going to hit the fan if they don't get this done.
And I mean, honestly, you just want to get to the finals. And I say that because last year Indiana made it to the finals. I don't know what your take was. I forget, but I remember my take was it's not going to be pretty. Like maybe they get to 6 games, but the Thunder's a wagon. They get to the finals, and outside of Tyrese tearing his Achilles, man, they get to Game 7, and who knew at that point what the hell was going to happen? It's one game.
Game 7 was in Indiana's favor.
Yeah,
like that. All you have, like you said, you just got to get to the dance. That's it. There's no stats, analytics, all thrown out the window when the two teams finally make the finals. Getting there is one thing. Oh, you got this is because of where your offensive efficiency. All that shit is thrown out the window when you're in the finals. It's just you got 4 games to win. You got 7 chances to do it.
Yeah, I think we both would agree the Thunder and Spurs are a tier above the Knicks as far as winning a championship this year. But again, if the Knicks make it to the finals, they have a puncher's chance. Like anything could happen. You could get hot at a game or two, and it just flips the series.
We saw the Detroit Pistons beat a team of the Lakers that had 5 Hall of Famers, a Hall of Famer at every single position on the court. Derek Fisher. I don't know if Derek Fisher's a Hall of Famer actually, but Gary Payton, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Karl Malone, like every single position, and they got smacked 4-1. So like all you have to do is just get there.
I think another potential storyline, depending on this is like a very series dependent. We talked about Mobley leveling up. I thought Jarrett Allen has been fantastic in the past
series. Yep,
really good in the series. Their bigs are playing really well right now for the Cavs. There is always the possibility of this series, even if they win it, getting pushed out to 6-7 games, and the bigs being problem for Cat, and then all the talk about and groaning about Cat comes back because people forgot, Cat is the ire of New York fans. When things go wrong, it's always Cat's fault. But he had a great series against the 76ers. So we even talked about them in about a week, the Knicks. So like we forgot about the whole Cat thing, but God help Cat if the series starts going sideways for the Knicks and Mobley and Allen are still playing very well and stepping up in this next series. It's going to be a storyline, even if they win and lose in the finals, do we really want Cat here? Do we really want Cat here? So just another thing to consider.
I think something was unlocked. Who's the head coach? The dude with the glasses for the Knicks?
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown. I think he found something, and it was game 6 or game 5. Game 5 against the Hawks, where Cat, we see Brunson domination ball, right? The back you down and get you in the post, hit a midi. He's been able to still do that while Karl Anthony Towns is playing his like Karl Anthony Jokic right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And they've done something where he's not exuding as much or using as much energy on offense because he's kind of facilitating, which can now help you on defense. If you're not getting the ball in the post and trying to spin move and hook shot and trying to throw up 30 shots a game, you can now have that energy while having OG, because he's going to be back, Josh Hart, McCall Bridges, and Brunson around you to just be annoyances. Like Cat's not going to be a shot blocker, but he'll get down there and get boards. He's averaging 8 a game. Like he averaged 8 a game in the whole series against Philly, and they had Embiid down there. So like it ain't like he can't get down there to do his dirty work. It's just if Mike Brown can continue to find ways to have him use less energy and still be extremely effective offensively, that's going to help him on the defensive side against those bigs. Because I don't think OG can match up 1v1 against Jarrett Allen or Mobley, but if you got Cat that can slide them feet slide them pups is what they say in the league. He's gonna help. It'll help. They're not shooting bigs, so you now have OG who can handle his own in the paint, and you have Cat that's rested. So I think because of the way that Mike Brown found a way to get Cat to change his offensive game in the playoffs, which you don't really see that happen. You don't see that much of an adjustment in a playoff series, but we saw that, and I think you've unlocked more of a defensive problem for him on the defensive side with Cat because of it.
Who do you got in the series and how many games?
I got it. If gun to my head right now, I'd say Knicks in 6. I do. I just think they have them, and I'm probably going to be way off. So like, nobody quote me on this. Like, you Frizz kid with those in your face. Like, they could drop all 4. I don't know. I don't care. But I look at the momentum that they have, the way that they were playing. We usually say the Knicks are an outside shooting team. They shot the pill off that ball against Philly, whooped their ass inside, outside, rebounding, and interior. And the Philadelphia 76ers had just smacked the Celtics, who we thought were damn good too. So, like, I get the injury with Embiid, so on and so forth, might have changed it, but like, I don't even think if Embiid was healthy that it was going to be a series. Like, they just looked that good. And the Cavs, can you see a repeatable series that you got from Mobley and Jarrett Allen? That's a lot. You're going to get the same from Donovan. Games 1 through 4, maybe even 1 through 5, you're going to get James Harden. But if it gets to 6 and 7, game decisive, there's nothing evidence-wise that makes me believe in James Harden. So I got to give the edge to the Knicks because of it.
Yeah, I was going to say Knicks in 6 myself. I don't want that to happen. I don't want the Knicks to go to the finals just because I don't like Knicks fans.
Damn it, I'm ready for it. Let it happen. They ain't got nothing since Eli. They've got nothing. They haven't had anything for that city. And that's in New Jersey. So I just mean the team name. They haven't had anything since Eli, man. I get we're going to say 72, but like, Eli Manning was the last time they got happy to celebrate something.
I was going to say the reason why I like the Knicks is I think just there's 2 things. Number one, I think there's more reliability, right? Like, I know Brunson's a little guard, but I feel like I can count on him in close games to be reliable. I don't know how I feel about on a game basis, 7 games, what James Harden and Donovan Mitchell are going to bring. And then secondarily to that, if you think about it, the Cavs have played 14 games in the playoffs so far, 14 very tough games. You forget they had a 7-game series in round 1, and they just played a very physical team in Detroit as well. So it's like they're not 14 regular basketball games. They played against 2 physical teams that really beat them up. On the flip side, the Knicks have played 10 games, but in reality, they've played 9 games because game 4 against the 76ers was over, in the
second
first quarter.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give the edge to New York just because, again, I do think there's some sort of advantage of not having that rust. But if we're going to be real about it, the Cavs are coming off a very difficult physical series against the Pistons. That's going to take a toll. All right, Western Conference. I think this is the more fascinating conference game matchup, not only because it's a fantastic matchup between 2 teams who hate each other, just in a general storyline about the players. We all know the Chet and Wemby thing. Wemby hates Chet, and he would like nothing more to end the Thunder and his Chet's aspirational hopes of winning a championship this year. Just individually though, the Thunder are fascinating because, again, I think from a national perspective, right, we don't talk about the Thunder a lot. They're not exciting. All of their big name guys, SGA, J. Will, Chet, they're boring, man. They're so boring. SGA says nothing controversial. They're just like, we're fun. We love each other. We're just having a good time. No one's going to be a superstar like, oh, look at me. Yeah, me. It's a very boring team in OKC. But quietly, they're turning into one of the greatest teams we've ever seen. And I say that because only 12 times in NBA history, has a team won back-to-back championships. And this Thunder team is very, very close to becoming the 13th team. And of that, only eight franchises have done it. I think the Lakers have a couple of those. They have 3 of them. Shout out to you. And there was one more team that had multiple back-to-backs. I think it was maybe the Warriors.
I know we're talking about the ones from the 2010s, but if you talk about like the 70s and 60s, that's going to be hard for me to remember.
Yeah. So it's like it's a historical, milestone. And then on top of that, like just storyline wise, again, because Shea's the quiet superstar, now NBA MVP. Only 6 players in NBA history have ever won finals MVPs in back-to-back seasons, which if the Thunder win the NBA finals, it's very likely that SGA will be finals MVP. Not saying it's guaranteed, but you know what I mean? Like if you had to take a bet, like if the Thunder won, who
most
would be
likely.
MVP? Yeah. The 6 players that he could put his name in their company: Michael Jordan, Shaquille O'Neal, Hakeem Olajuwon, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and it would be SGA. Those are an insane like company to put your team and yourself. And I just think the big storyline about the Thunder is if they do this thing, if they pull this thing off, it's no longer just hypothetical, right? It's no longer 4 years in the past where it's like, wow, this team could be really good in a couple of years. We could be looking at like the real deal, not hypothetical dynasty.
Problem.
They would have won back to back. Hasn't been done in almost 10 years. SGA could be one of the 7 players of all time to be back to back and NBA Finals MVP. Like this is historical crazy shit that's going on.
I'm with you. It's the scary part is they're young. They were all drafted. Majority, 99% of them were drafted from OKC. They did it the right way process-wise. So how can you get mad at it? They didn't buy their roster. No, you missed me with the Shea one. Nobody knew that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was going to be this good when they traded for him for Paul George. Everybody said that OKC got fleeced. They gave up Paul George for him. Like, no. So miss me with that. Hartenstein, let's go. What are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like he had a great playoff series in New York, but that's about it. Caruso is a great journeyman to win championships with, but he's not like a top defender anymore. He's not that guy. So like those are the pieces that they brought in. J-Dub, Chet. Those were all drafted players. Like they hit draft after draft after draft. Now they got guys that come off of their bench that are like, wow, he's nasty. He's nasty. He could go start somewhere. And that's, a Lou Dort was drafted by them, I believe. No,
that dude's nice.
AJ Mitchell. There was another dude, Casey Wallace.
He's good.
He can come in and drop 20 if he wants to. It's like they hit right at the right time with their draft picks. So the problem that I have with this too is like, I know that like you have like the NBA always needs somebody that you hate. That's just part of it. We talked about this a couple of years ago that there was no villain in the NBA anymore. And now because OKC has gotten as good as they are, like we have to naturally crown them as the villain. Like we have to hate them, which I don't understand. But like if there's a team that you look at and go, no, they did it right. Why do we have to hate somebody that did it right? It's OKC. They didn't buy anybody.
The idea of the villain in the NBA is one of 2 things. Like you can be an outright asshole and be a villain. And I'm trying to think of like who would fit that.
Dylan Brooks.
I guess so. I'm trying to think of like a good player, but usually.
Yeah. Thank you for saying good player. Appreciate you.
I think when we think of a villain in the NBA, we typically coin the team that we're all scared shitless of. I think, I know people got pissed at LeBron for the no 1, not 2, not 3. That wasn't the real reason why people were pissed because he said that. People were pissed because they looked at that Heat team and said, shit, my team doesn't have a chance for the next 4 years. People looked at the Warriors when they got Kevin Durant. Shit, my team has no chance for the next 3 or 4 years. And I think people are looking at the Thunder the same way. Shit. Because you feel like that team is going to steal away your chance of having hope and happiness. and it doesn't make you a villain. It just makes everyone hate you because we want to see you fail. I do object with the idea of you said they did ethically the Oklahoma City Thunder. I chuckled.
Well, I know. No. I didn't say ethically. I said they did it right by drafting. I know how they got those draft picks.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I just said that they did it right by drafting them. But we all know the tankathon that went on.
Yeah, ask Al Horford how he felt when he got traded to Oklahoma City, and they said, "You can just go home, buddy."
Yeah, I know. I didn't say ethical. That word did not come out of my mouth. I just said that they did it right by drafting. What they did to get them draft picks, that's a horse of a different color, but that's the NBA.
I'm trying to think the one other potential interesting thing that I want to look at for the Thunder the rest of these playoffs. They haven't lost a game without and they have not had J-Dub at all.
Yeah.
In this run. I'm curious, like if they do continue to win and they win let's say they win the championship and J-Dub is just kind of there. Like he's not 100% right because he's coming back from injury, but he's there, he's contributing, but he's not a key reason why they win again. I'm curious what that does with this team going forward with J-Dub because Sam Presti is a guy that, he's the president of basketball for the Thunder. He's always thinking the next step ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And he's very conscious of the salary cap and how punitive those aprons can be. If the Thunder win a championship and J-Dub isn't a huge reason why they win the championship, I don't see why he wouldn't look to shop J-Dub for younger guys on a contract that's more manageable. Because you talked about how deep this Thunder team is.
Mm-hmm.
They got a guy named AJ Mitchell making $3 million a year who's been phenomenal. I'm sure they'd be happy to give him more minutes and not pay J-Dub, $40 million a year, whatever he's making. So I'm curious to see, like, if they do win a championship and J-Dub isn't a huge piece of the reason why that happens, I would just look out for that in the offseason. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, they brought in Jared McCain for a reason. I don't care what anybody says, but that's a secondary scorer when he needs to. We've seen him light the scoreboard up from three. They also have, you didn't mention him. Did you say Casey Wallace?
You said Casey.
I said I know, okay, but you said AJ Mitchell. That's what it was. Like Casey Wallace is a starter in the NBA. He just happens to play for the Thunder. So like that's somebody that you can literally just boost into your starting rotation and you don't drop a beat. So yeah, I don't see that happening. I honestly look at it as like if there was a decision to be made, Jalen Williams would look at it and go, yeah, I got no problem taking a pay cut. I'm gonna go to Washington and get paid a whole bunch of money so that I could just not win. He has that relation. You said it. They have a weird vibe in OKC where everybody's just happy with not being a superstar or just happy with not being the guy, and they know that Shea is, so they default to him. And look, we're just here to win. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's so unorthodox and unexpected from an NBA team that it wouldn't surprise me if Jalen Williams was like, no, I don't need to go test the market. Please don't trade me. Like, I just won't take the super max. I'll take a max. I'll take whatever is the bottom tier so it keeps us under the luxury tax.
I'm trying to figure out what his contract situation is now, but I'm getting the other Jalen Williams when I search it.
That's the worst.
I can't.
It's the worst that there's like 17 Jalen's in the league now.
Different spelling too, man. On the Thunder side, right? We're talking about storylines and like what we might think of this team, depending on if they advance to a championship and win it. If Wemby's 22, man. If the Thunder win if the Spurs win a championship.
Oh, you were talking about the Spurs. Okay, I didn't want to correct you.
No, I was talking about the Spurs. Okay, if the Spurs win a championship, Wemby's 22. That would be incredible because guys don't do it this young. Nope. And I think everyone discounted the Spurs. They're too young. Wemby's in his third season. He's 22 years old. Stephon Castle's 21 years old. Dylan Harper's a rookie. He's 19. Like, this team can't win a championship. They're too young. They can't. It's just all the reasons why they're too young. They're too this. They don't have the experience. They haven't got their bruises.
They're not battle tested. But
they have Victor Wembanyama, and none of that fucking matters when you have Victor Wembanyama on your team. And we are on the precipice of the Spurs actually doing this. Because as much as we respect the Thunder, the Spurs have shown us in this season they are not afraid of the Thunder, and they can stand toe to toe with them. And if they beat the Thunder, have fun, Knicks, have fun, Cavs. Like Wemby we literally could see the beginning, the first ring of the future potential greatest player of all time. Like, I'm not even being hyperbolic, but like,
no, you're on pace with that.
What Wemby does defensively and his offensive game is evolving. If he could win at 22 years old and still have 10 years left of prime with the guys around him only getting better, like, it's an insane story that I didn't think could be possible at the beginning of the season, but we're here now and it looks very real.
Not this quick. And I know people like for some reason want to flame him on his like press conference. Ant's gonna keep it real. He's gonna keep it a buck, is what the kids would say. And he was asked, he was like, so, you know, how do you feel about these questions that are fielded for you with being the face of the NBA? And, like, with LeBron retiring, like, is that a throne that like you're willing to take? And he goes, you hear about that dude? They got Wembanyama over there. League's gonna be all right. Like he just knows it, and we know how good and competitive Ant is, and he's just accepted it because like we've never seen a 7'6" fucking alien that can dribble like a guard, shoot like a wing, and play defense like he's Dikembe Mutombo. And we're not just talking about like he just blocks to block. No, he covers from paint to the 3-point line. Like he gets people that aren't the 3-point line to pump fake. What? They're afraid that he's going to use his 35-inch vert, which like some people like, I got a 40. It's not big. The motherfucker is 7'6". So if he's got a 35-inch vert at 7'6", he's covering literally from paint to perimeter. So yes, we have never seen this before. And I don't know. It would be great. It'd be great to say we are witnessing the creation of potentially the greatest basketball player to ever live. And that's not a shot at LeBron. That's not a shot at Michael. It's not a shot at Kobe. I'm going to throw that one in there. It's just what the hell are we watching? This is somebody that was made out of a bottle that we were not, we weren't supposed to see LeBron James. I had this conversation with you before. Like our eyes weren't supposed to see 6'8", 260 that could run a 4.4 with a 45-inch vert and be athletic. We weren't supposed to see that. And then Giannis came out of nowhere. And we're like, how can these athletes keep getting freakishly athletic? And then fucking Victor Wembanyama comes around. So like, how can we not? And this is just the start. Well, again, you already said it, like we're not crowning him. It's just we may be potentially seeing the start of if this dude can knock off OKC, get to the finals, and just win one at 23 years in.
We're also just the storyline wise. Just hear me out on this. If the Spurs beat the Thunder, we might literally be in store for the greatest NBA rivalry of our lives.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the Thunder aren't going anywhere. The Spurs aren't going anywhere. These teams genuinely fucking hate each other. This thing could be like 5 years in a row. Western Conference Finals, Spurs Thunder. Like, this might be some of the greatest. This might be akin to Cavs Warriors. Like, maybe even better. Like, I'm just so excited for this series, Spurs, Thunder. I don't care who wins. I mean, I would prefer the Spurs. But like, I don't care. As long as it's a good competitive series and I walk away being like, that was amazing basketball and I cannot wait to see this again next year.
We could be, and I'm only comparing it to just because they're Western Conference. Like, obviously, you got the Celtics, Lakers, but that's like they got to reach the finals in order for that to happen. But this could be hate that like Kings, Lakers had in the 2000s. Like they genuinely will square up and fight each other on the court because Doug Christie and Kobe did fight. Like they just don't like each other. Like we're not going to do this. Shaq hates Vlade Divac. Like he was the guy that replaced him in LA. Like this is This could be good, man. And not that it's not already. We saw it regular season, and it's going to carry over into year after year. But if this, while we're on the cusp of saying that like OKC is a potential dynasty, and then all of a sudden there's a wrench in the cog in the machine, and it's Wemby and the Spurs. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of problems between these two teams in the next 6 years if that happens.
I can't wait, man.
I'm excited.
The game's on right now. It's tied up at end of the first quarter.
Jay Williams is playing great too, by the way. Now that we talked about him.
I'm glad I brought that hypothetical. We'll see.
At one point there was a time where it was just him and Caruso that scored.
Now, it'll be interesting too with the young guys and the Spurs to see how they perform in the biggest stage. It's crazy too because I know Fox was out game one, and my first thought when I saw that blurb of Fox being out was like, all right, whatever. Just because how good Wemby is and how good those other young guards are, I'm like,
up for it, yeah.
That's fine. In fact, like if they win game one and Fox isn't there, that's even more ammunition that he's out of the door next year. We'll see though. We'll see. It's first quarter in. The only other thing I want to ask and talk about today, and maybe Shay, I don't know if I should hit the transition or not. We just did watch the Pistons go out in embarrassing fashion on Sunday night, or I guess it was Sunday day. Well, how disrespectful is that to the Cavaliers? I love Cade. I'm convinced Cade's the real deal. Like Cade is 100% a guy you can build your franchise around. I'm fascinated what the Pistons are going to do going forward. Regular season 1 seed, barely squeaked by the Orlando Magic in the 8th seed, and would have probably lost if Franz Wagner did not get hurt. Lose to the Cavs, who, we'll be honest, neither of us have much faith in the Cavaliers. I'm fascinated to see what they do with Jalen Duren, who's due for an extension. He's a restricted free agent going into this offseason. And he's going to look at the Pistons and say, hey, I'm second team all NBA. I need to get, max money. And the Pistons are going to have to look at him and say, bro, where were you in the playoffs? You were a no-show the entire playoff run. So Duren, number one, and number two, Asar Thompson, also due for extension. And teams defended him and said, oh, you want to stand in the corner? Go ahead. They put Mobley on Asar Thompson. And usually when guys get the ball in the corner, if you're, a wing, maybe it's not panic. I'm getting to I'm not panicking to get to put up my hand, but at least they make a move towards the shooter. Mobley's just like, nah, we're good here. I'll stand in the paint, do your thing. And he had to pass up the ball. This team has the most important piece. They have Cade Cunningham. But there were so many flaws around this team, how this team is built in the Pistons. I'm very interested to see what they do in this offseason, because they were the one team in the deadline. We're like, you're the number one seed. Let's get aggressive at the deadline. They're like, no, we're good here. They did nothing. Do you have any interest in what's going on with the Pistons going forward?
Yeah, wholesale for everybody but Cade and Asar. You're wrong. You're wrong.
Oh, you're getting rid of Asar?
No, I said everyone but Cade and Asar. I think you're wrong.
By the way. Yeah, go ahead.
So biggest, and this is one of those well, damn, can you affect the game without having to be offensively geared? Yes. What's the head coach for the Cavs? Kenny Atkinson, is that correct?
Yes.
Did you see his interview post the series win?
I know what you're going to say. He said, they basically said, what do you do offensively? Just get whoever is Asar Thompson's guarding.
Go away from him.
Go away from him.
That's if there's a compliment to give or to get as a defender, it's that.
But to be fair, he did not say the words, Kenny Atkinson, but listen, actions over words, actions speak louder than words. What was his game plan on defensively? Whoever's guarding Asar Thompson, just walk away from him.
True. Yeah, I get that. I get that.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it can be if the kid is young though. Can he develop some type of offensive game? His brother did. His brother at least can get to the lane. We're not expecting him to pull up from three. He doesn't have to. He's got Cade Cunningham for that. They need another offensive player, but no, you don't bring back Tobias Harris. You don't bring back Jalen Duren if he can go somewhere. Duncan Robinson, I know they tried it. Sorry, that was a bad experiment, unfortunately, in the playoffs. We saw it. We've seen it with Miami multiple times. And Karis LeVert, he was in and out so many times where he had sparks, then he didn't have sparks. The only two that you gear this team around or build this team around is Cade and Asar. I know you like Dennis. I even said, I was like, that's the G League guy. Like, we got what we got out of him, but like, he's not a team build. He's not a foundational piece. If I can find a way to move aggressively Duren to get some 2-guard, point guard, wing, and push Cade to just the 2, that's going to help this team. Somebody had made a point and was like, the positionless basketball is what's ruining teams like the Pistons, where Cade is so good, but he needs to not have the ball in his hands as a playmaker, and he needs to have the ball in his hands as a scorer. And if they bring in not a traditional, like he doesn't have to be a 15 assist per game point guard, but if they can bring in somebody that's smart enough to set him up offensively, how much more dynamic would he be?
He needs help, man.
He needs pressure off of him.
I don't know if you watch the Cavs game plan, but you would expect, hey, this is our one offensive threat. We're going to double team. The Cavs basically said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to let him go one-on-one. We're going to let Cade go one-on-one, and if he gets buckets, he gets buckets, but this man's going to be tired as hell by the end of the game because he's the only offensive they got. And if we let him get easy passes and conserve his energy, he can make the passes. Make him work 48 minutes because no one else is going to help his ass. And that was ultimately what did him in, because Cade was exhausted, man. He gave it his all. I was impressed by what he could do. I do agree. Like, I don't think this team is tenable with Asar and Duren because they have a lack of shooting. Neither of those guys, they both are non-shooters, like literal zeros shooting wise. It's tough, man. Duren's all second team NBA. He's been awesome all season. He's 22, by the way. He's 22 years old. If he had an offensive game that I could live with, then yes, he should have a good pick. During the regular season, his offensive pick and roll game was fantastic. He scored 20 points a game during the regular season.
But what are you doing though? Are you trying to win in the regular season or in the playoffs? The reason why you saw a difference in the playoffs is because you can game plan.
I guess my point is, if you're saying Asar can level up and develop, I think you need to extend the same credit to Jalen Duren as well, offensively. You could go either way. You could get rid of Duren. Now, I don't know how difficult that would be because you have to assign and trade.
Mm-hmm.
If he's only accepting the max, it's just not doable. And I agree at that point. You're going to have to talk him down. I don't know what the number is going to be.
He's not taking a cut. There's no chance. This highest value is going to be.
Yeah. I like both Duren and Asar. You know me, I have a soft spot for Asar. I think Asar would be more valuable on a different team with shooting around him already. I think I would trade Asar and keep Duren if I'm the Pistons and get that second option. I don't know who it would be. I'd have to really, really think because it'd have to be a second offensive engine. You'd have to trade a lot of picks. What would be a perfect fit for them? When the Cavs trade to get Donovan Mitchell, that's the type of trade they need to make, is get that second high power offense because they have enough defense.
Mm-hmm.
They just need that second ball handler, scorer, and then maybe a little bit of shooting. But it's tough, man. Cade was great. The Pistons have a lot of tough questions to answer in this offseason, though.
It's going to be tough. This is going to be tough for them, for sure.
Could they be a low-key, sneaky, honest, potential?
It's not off of the realm of possibility. Look, anybody is open to Giannis. The only thing is, what you're getting. I've removed myself from wanting Giannis right now because is he great? Yes. Is he an all-timer? Absolutely. Can you rely on him health-wise? No. So how much are you willing to mortgage your team to potentially get somebody for 60 games, 55 games a season with the hopes that he's available and ready for the playoffs? And I was on the bandwagon of saying, no, you do this for Giannis because you know what you can get out of him in the playoffs. That body takes a toll, man. At some point, 6'10", 260, it will catch up to you and you start losing your athleticism. You start losing your game where he is so dominant. Being that big and fast, he's just going to get slower. And then what do? You know what I'm saying? He's not a shooter. So like I and Giannis is one of my favorite players to watch, but I don't know if you're Detroit, does that bring you up the next level? I don't think it does because like Cade needs a scorer that can shoot, not a guy that's going to take up the paint.
Well, you alluded to my closing take, so let's get right to the takes.
The show is coming to an end. But first, it's time to get to anything we've missed. It's closing time. 1 segment, 2 takes. Now go.
All right, closing takes. It's time for me and D to get off one last take before we get out of here. We can do pop culture, sports, whatever we want. D, you mentioned Giannis. I want to ask you something. Did you see the interview that I don't know if they have a podcast together, but it was a podcast episode. It was your girl Breanna Stewart and Miles Turner. Did you see this?
No.
So I think they have a podcast together, and they were chatting back and forth, Breanna Stewart and Miles Turner. And I don't know how they got to the conversation, but the topic was like, do y'all get fined for random shit? Like how hard is your coach on fining? And Breanna Stewart's like, oh my God, like my coach, Jesus, with the Liberty, they fine us for everything. They fine us for this. They fine us for that. If we don't box out on every rebound, we get a fine. They'll review the tape and fine us for not boxing out every rebound, like hard asses. And Breanna asked Miles Turner, center of the Milwaukee Bucks, like, how is it over there? And he's like, we don't get fined for shit. Like, he's like, there's no fines. He was like, people show up late to practice, nothing. People show up late to meetings, nothing. People show up late to the plane, nothing. And then Miles Turner went on to allude, I don't know if he said the name directly, but like the star of the team is the main culprit. Showing up to team plane rides an hour and a half late. Showing up to practice 10, 15 minutes late. Meetings 10, 15 minutes late. No one says anything. No accountability. Bad culture there in Milwaukee, man. And it seems like the main culprit is your boy Giannis, who the front office bends to his whim. The coaches bends to his whim. Giannis runs the Milwaukee Bucks top to bottom, and there's no accountability, and he doesn't give a fuck, it seems.
No, he doesn't. Nor do I care that he doesn't. It probably is, but he brought one of the league's worst franchises in the history of the NBA, an NBA championship. So the brother can be late to a meeting. The brother can be late to the team playing. He can do whatever he wants. I don't care. Like that doesn't move the needle for me. He won a championship for a team that had never won a championship before. In the 67 years that the NBA has been around. I don't even know. It's probably more than that. I'm just
right.
meaning it. But I don't care. I don't care.
You might not care. That's fine. But like if your superstar can do it, and
obviously
no anything, everyone looks at your superstar and says, "Oh, that's how we do things around here."
Mm-hmm.
It creates a bad culture, man, where everyone's not giving their 100% to win. And
not everybody can be Tom Brady. Like that. Like let's just take a step back for this. Like, do we understand how extremely difficult it was to be the number one player at your sport and have the number one coach at your sport, and for the number one coach be such a hard ass that the number one player goes, yeah, I'll fall in line. Not only will I fall in line, I'll take a pay cut year after year after year after year after year and be the poster child of the league so that we can continue to win championships. That never happens. So, like, we can't hold everybody else to the standard of, like, my best player has to be my best behaved. No, it wasn't like that in the 90s. Jordan was out there getting drunk, going to casinos before games. They had to go fly Rodman's ass from Vegas, like, game day. So, like, nah, miss me with that. Like, I know this is, like, the new age, but, like, there's been one franchise, and I'm not even talking about the Drew Brees, Sean Payton. Like, they were never the best combo in the league ever. Brady and Belichick were. So, like, we can't just compare everybody to that gold standard of because you're the best on the team, you should be setting the example. No, motherfucker, I'm here to get paid and get buckets and win. And like they're not winning now, obviously he's injured, but like he got the buckets, he got the MVP, he got the championship. So be happy.
I'm surprised that's your take on it. I went completely opposite. Like I'm a Magic fan. I was 100% pro. Let's trade Paulo for Giannis in the offseason.
Now you're out.
And I don't, dude. I am now getting the.
I'm out for other reasons, but yeah, I can see why.
I am more getting the complete picture. Like we've getting little snippets of who Giannis is. You know, the passive aggressiveness over the past couple of years, the injuries that weren't injuries, and you know, no, I actually want to play, but no, I actually don't want to play. And then you're seeing a little bit more of like how he behaves, you know, around the team. It's like I don't like this guy. I'm gonna say it. I don't like Giannis. I don't. I think he's fake as fuck, and I think he's just a poor attitude, not doing the right things to create like a winning culture around you. I'm out, man. I'm out.
Say it with your chest, man. But it'll all change when he goes to New York and he's perfectly fine. It's just he's sick of Milwaukee. Who wouldn't be sick of eating cheese every day? And
the beer is good.
It's winter 9 out of 12 months. Like who wants to be up there? Mine's is quick. Mine's is short. Big shouts, and I'm sure that you did. You definitely didn't rock these in high school. I couldn't afford it, but I would have. And when they come back, I will. So did you hear 50 and G Unit are bringing back the G Unit sneakers? The old Reeboks?
No.
Oh yeah, I got that one. And the amount of 50's my favorite rapper of all
nice
time.
Looking?
No, they're ugly as shit.
I'm looking them up right now.
50's everybody's got their GOAT. 50 Cent is mine. Like he's my favorite rapper of all time. To me, he's the best rapper of all time.
Oh, I've seen these before.
They were nice. They were ugly as shit, but they were nice. Right? The Reeboks back in the day.
I'll show you
Oh, I know what they look like. I'm getting me a pair. They're not cheap, but I'm getting me a pair when they come out again. What I mean by this is like the alternate persona of like outside of this, so like my gaming persona is literally like the troll like 50 Cent is. So like the amount of people that sent me, yo, Frizz, did you know that 50's coming back? Yes. Did you? My phone blew up. So yeah, I mean they're not gonna sell for $400 again. No chance.
Those must be like the old.
That's just because that's the original. That's just because they're the old commodities and people want to try to get bread for them. But no, the plan is to have them come back either by the end of this year or the beginning of 2027. So I'm hyped. G Unit Radio is always bumping whenever the girls are asleep. So I'm all for it. They're ugly as shit, but they will look nice right next to my Air Max, man. I can't wait.
These shoes, whoever's selling these shoes for $400, these look like just like the quality of shoe I used to cut the grass. What is this person doing?
At that angle, it definitely does. Those are worn. They're not new, but he's still selling for $375 because why not?
Make your bread, man. Make your bread.
Speaking of bread, because it looked like that was eBay. Did you see that eBay turned down GameStop's offer for like 17 billion? How? I don't know.
How does GameStop have $17 billion? That's all I want to know.
How does eBay turn that down for like, I don't understand. Like, there's no way eBay was like, I mean, GameStop was like, we'll give you a 17 billion like store credit. Like you can
buy some used games.
You can buy some used games, but if you buy one new, if you sell it back to us, we'll give you $10.
How are both of those stores still, like, how are both of those things still in business?
eBay still being around is a head scratcher. With Amazon,
when was the last time you bought something on eBay ever?
Oh, a jersey when I was in high school. I probably can go grab one right now, like a Sean Taylor jersey. I think that might have been my last purchase, honestly. Now that I'm saying that, it was a Sean Taylor jersey when he played for I know it's not the Redskins anymore, but when he played for the Redskins.
I always just get mine. I don't even want to say they're fake. They're probably just like stolen off the assembly line. I just get them directly mailed from China.
I mean, what's wrong with that? Oh, I can't remember. So I can't remember the last time I bought a jersey from me. I bought jerseys, but like got them for like family members, so on and so forth. Like, hey, you like the Celtics? Here you go.
Yeah.
But like for me personally, like ever since they started putting fur on the back of mine, why would I wear somebody else's?
I think your boy might have to look at the jersey market soon and get a number one Spurs jersey soon.
Hey, I'm still waiting for somebody worth buying a Lakers jersey for, which I'd rather honestly just buy the sweatshirts. I'm good with. I have many hoodies of my favorite teams. I'm perfectly fine with that. But like jerseys, I think I'm past that stage.
Is the only one that hits because like I just feel like on a nice warm summer day, no sleeves, it's almost just wearing like a tank top. I don't know, man. I don't know if I wear football jerseys. Those things are so uncomfortable.
They're massive. Like unless it's like a game day jersey, like. But like with the ones with the loose sleeves and shit, like I got a LaDainian Tomlinson jersey that looks like it would fit like a 600-pounder because we just bought stupid sized uniform like jerseys when we were kids.
Just real quick, random top 5 jerseys to wear from sports. Number 1 basketball, number 2 baseball, like the buttons fits.
Never had. Oh, I actually had a Rays jersey a while ago. Yeah.
Number 3, I do like the hockey jerseys. The hockey.
That's a sweater.
I like the thickness to them. I feel like I don't even know what MLS like maybe
it's a kit, nice little kit to wear.
Or would be the soccer one, and then the worst one's football. Man, it's the material gets super hot. It's like it's restricted. It makes no sense, man.
You had to wear a hoodie underneath your jersey.
Yeah,
that's the way that you got around. Or that's how you got around it. Is you had to wear like you couldn't just wear just the jersey. Like I have my Reggie Bush one when he's at USC. I never wore just the jersey. I had to wear a white hoodie underneath it.
That's the pro tip. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
After the meandering D, get us out of here, man.
All right. We appreciate y'all being in here. The next time that we're gonna go live, we don't know. So just stay tuned. Whole lot of PTO, but we don't get paid for it. But we're gonna enjoy our summer or spring into summer. As we get closer towards the nicer weather. But hey, you guys were here. Appreciate it. Whether you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, you listen to us tomorrow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify while you're stuck in traffic. You can also visit the website. You know, it's usually at the bottom, frizzandthegrizz.com. I know there was some issues with TikTok. Hopefully that's fixed.
I got some tips on that. I got to download it. I got to download it to my computer and then upload it.
Cool. So we fixed the issue. You'll start to see some clips. We had a little bit of lag time, but we should be good now that we're authorized, so on and so forth. So please, like we say when we getting up out of here, be a friend. Say something nice. You never know what it could do to them. Please make sure to take care of y'all mentals. It's the summertime, so please take care of y'all physicals. Take care of y'all chicken. Take care of y'all cheering, and we'll catch y'all on the rebound. Peace.
I would rather play with 10 people and just get penalized all the way until we got to do something else, rather than play with 11 when I know that right now that person is not sold out to be a part of this team. It is more about them than it is about the team. Cannot play with them, cannot win with them, cannot coach with them, can't do it.